Hi. Getting ready to gearing up to go run 17 miles. So practice 3 highlights. It's a race week, ladies and gentlemen. I got sent those creatine gummies, so I've been on the creatine grind again for the past few days. I don't fucking know if I notice anything. Maybe I do. I feel like I kind of do, but we'll see. And then I took electrolytes, and right now that I'm just drinking, I have some orange juice for the carbs, and some coffee is what I'm gonna drink, and then I'll start gearing up. I'm gonna do that, and I can show more once I have clothes on, because I don't have any on right now. I'm also eating I have dates. I had 3 of them. Here's 4 with coconut oil. And like I said, I have my coffee. I did use the bathroom too, which is important before a long run. Yeah, I'm gonna set the camera up and then maybe I can talk more when I'm putting my shoes on. Alright, so we're gearing up for 17 miles. I don't really know what I said, but rolling with the Endorphin Pro or Speeds. These shoes are honestly pretty busted. I'm gonna need a new pair of daily runners here sooner than later, probably. And then these are the socks I always wear. If you watched one of the first YouTube videos I made, when I was just making them during my last marathon prep, I always wore them on long run days. They're I don't know, just kind of bring that mentality for a long run, which I was kind of excited about this run, but I'm starting it. It's 10:55. You can see the sun's out. It's not. What's the temp? It's 85 degrees. It's gonna be hot. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to complain about it. I don't want to talk much about it because it's just gonna get hot. But whatever. Fucking whatever. More annoyed at myself for not being up earlier. But I'm gonna bring 4 gels. 4 jelly jellies. Jelly belly jellies. Honey Stinger Energy Gel. I ordered these from Amazon. They took over a month. They took forever to come in, but whatever. Yeah, so 17 miles today. The YouTube video is going to be, it says it in the title, but 17-mile long run today, and then we have a brick workout tomorrow. I think it's 5.5 hours into some mile run, maybe an 8-mile run. I don't really know, but that's what I'm going to be filming. And then, yeah. So we're just gonna start out this run, take it piece by piece, and try not to die. We're just gonna try not to die out there. Fighting the feelings of frustration right now because I can feel them inside of me. I can feel myself wanting to get really frustrated and annoyed for not being up earlier, but I don't know, take them out on the run or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's kind of what's on the forefront of my mind. So this morning I had electrolytes. I have those creatine gummies, which I got sent them for free. I like them. The ingredients are good. I don't know. They have sugar in them, which I don't really like. And then it's I have a code. Yeah, I don't really know because I'm eating them. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I had those. Had orange juice. Had coffee. electrolytes, some dates with coconut oil. And then right now, before I leave, I'm gonna have some salt with the honey and then just wash it down with like water or a little bit more orange juice. And then, yeah, shoes are tied. I don't really ever, no, that's not true. I do stretch a little bit. Once I get outside, I usually always try to stretch out my calves. Because for me, if I don't stretch my calves, I assume this is for most people, I don't know, but I'll get shin splints. Or my calves just get extremely tight. And then, it's just kind of what will lead to shin splints. But when I first started running a few years ago, I remember I never really stretched my calves. And then I started to kind of get shin splints, and I was like, oh, I guess I should do that. They were just like ungodly tight. I remember like I'd walk around the gym and always try to stretch them, and I was like, holy crap. But at that point it was too late, and that's how I got that stress fracture. That hurt a lot. Yeah, side note, but I'll stretch when I get outside a little bit, just kind of do some quick stretches on the stairs, so like stretching out my hips and groin area. And then I'll kind of do some swinging of my legs and a little bit of hopping and jumping around, and I'll just start running. Usually that first mile, especially on these longer runs, is just kind of like the warm up anyways. So there's that too. And then, yeah, gonna go to the gym later today, do my 100 pull-ups, unless I die on this run, but hopefully I won't. And then, yeah. Again, every time I mention the heat or whatever, it makes me feel frustrated. I can feel it building in me when I talk about it, and it makes me annoyed. So, I don't know if I should not talk about it, but the more I talk and sit here, the hotter it's getting. So, I'm just gonna get going. And then, alright, here's a cool idea. So I'm gonna get up and walk out that door, and when I walk back in that door, the run's gonna be over. So, and I can do a post-run recap, but you'll see it in like, as soon as that door shuts, that's when you'll see it, because I'll be walking right back in, but I still gotta do the 17 miles, so yeah. Wish me luck. Whoa! Whoa! We're done. We finished the run. 17 miles, baby. That was solid. I ran with this Guinness glass the entire time because I didn't walk in here ready to turn the camera on and do all that good stuff. I have never in my life craved cold water quite like I do here in Florida. Sometimes it's just like, it's all I want. I just want cold water in my mouth and to drink it. It's crazy. I used to never be someone that really cared if water was cold or warm, I'd just drink it. But now it's like if you drink warm water, I feel like it just does nothing. It has to be cold. It's crazy. Speaking of water, that bucket behind me, my AC has been leaking for the past week or so, and it fills this bucket damn near up. And the other night I came home from work and the bucket was probably filled to about there-ish, and I use that bucket for a seat at my desk. If I have a standing desk, but if I'm not standing and I want to sit, I use that bucket. And so I came home from work and I still had to do the daily doodle. So I grabbed the bucket. I have a lid that I put on and I sat on it. When I went to put the bucket back, I guess I didn't put it at a very good spot. So I set it down, I walked in the kitchen, and then about a minute later, tipped over. All the water just went everywhere. But I was like, it was one of those things where you don't even get mad. I was standing in the kitchen. It was probably like 12 o'clock at night. And I heard it fall. I was like, because I was like looking at the stove or something. And I was like, God dang it. And then you just look over and you're like, well, what are you going to do? Honestly, I didn't even really care. I think it's just because it's a mix of being tired and like, what are you going to do? because it's been leaking for like about a week, and I just put that bucket there the other day. So this rug's been wet for like a week, and then yeah, I was like, fuck it, whatever, don't care. So I just went to bed, and it was relatively dry in the morning. So yeah, so that was that. But the run went really well. I was happy with that. It like I was saying, going into the run, I was getting frustrated because I was like, I just felt as though I was gonna die. It wasn't that hot out today, which is crazy to say, but it was 89 degrees. And truly, you're out there and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like that hot. Even in the sun, I was like, this isn't like terrible. So that was good. And then I was just like, run smart. Don't be an idiot. Don't go out too fast, whatever. So just sat at, I think I averaged like a 7:11 pace, but I was just sitting at like a 7:10 to 20 pace the entire time. I was like, all right, this isn't terrible. And then I'd stop if I see, there's like one water fountain that I know is always cold. And if I run past it, I will 110% stop at it. So I stopped at that water fountain, and there are like one or two other ones I stopped at, just to like out and back. So I'd stop at those same fountains. When I would take a gel, I'd stop and stand in the shade for like that minute to try to like just keep myself cool. And I think we did a good job. I did it. The hardest part is to stop at a water fountain and to just not chug the water, especially at that one that I'm saying that's cold. Like I just want to sit there and just chug the water. But you can't do that, because at least I can't, because that fucks up your stomach. So that's where honestly the real discipline comes into my head. But yeah, and then I did get a little bit of a stitch, like a side stitch, like right here, twice during the run. So those kind of hurt. Kind of rub them out a little bit and they go away. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't die. I feel good right now. I'm still very thirsty. So yeah, so the goal right now, it's 2 o'clock. Probably kind of recover, eat, I'll edit. If I can do the daily read, I'll do it, and then go to the gym and do my 100 pull-ups. And then we have a big brick workout tomorrow, so I'm just trying to get to bed as early as possible. Need to run to the store and get some things for that. But yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the day. And to shower. Gotta shower. So let's do those things, and I'll see you. I don't know. Potentially tonight, probably not, but probably early in the morning for that brick workout. Bam! Hello, good morning. It is 5:12 on a Sunday. Prepping my bottles for this 5-hour ride. So we have a brick workout today. 5 hours into an 8-mile run. I'm gonna do it indoor, or the bike at least. I'm gonna do indoor. So that's gonna be interesting. That'll be fun. I was gonna do it last night when I was kind of gonna start prepping for stuff. I started too late. I went and saw a buddy, and then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do it indoor. Because it's like a whole thing to drive all the way out there. And actually one of the biggest things is I'm a little worried about my car right now. So I just didn't want to drive out there. I was like, the amount of time I'll save from just not driving out there will be nice. So there is that. I wouldn't want to do, because I already do my 2 rides during the week indoor. And I like getting the one outdoor on the weekend just because you get all those little variables, weather, hills, and stuff like that, which I feel like is kind of good. Also, like handling on the bike. But for one ride, it'll be fine. It's not a big deal. And yeah, so that's the plan. We're gonna do it indoor, and then we'll do that. Obviously, the 8 miles outside, but it should be a lot better in terms of. I mean, a lot of times those rides just kill me because of the heat, and you're just literally just slow baking, slow roasting in the sun all day. So that should be nice. I'll be able to actually have water at a gallon right there. So I'll be able to actually have water and stuff throughout this ride, like more consistently, which will be nice. But speaking of, so my bottles, I have 1 cup of orange juice, 1 cup of apple juice, which is about 30 grams of carbs per cup. It's actually, on the label it says 240 milliliters, my little cup thing. My lord. This says 250 milliliters, so a little bit more. So between the two cups, in both bottles, and either bottle is, 60 grams of carbs there. And then I also have maple syrup. Well, I also have about 1,500 milligrams of salt in each one of these. So in my head, I'm thinking about 1,000 milligrams per hour. So I have these 3 bottles, but ready for 5 hours. So, Liam, how does that work? So I'll just do like 1 bottle for every hour and a half-ish, which still won't put me at 5 hours, put me at 4.5. So you have 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Between these 2 bottles, it's another hour. And then, so it puts you at 4 hours, and then this is in the other half, so 4.5 hours. And that last 30 minutes, I do have some gels, so I'm going to do that as well, I guess. Maybe I'll put a couple out, but I don't know if I'm going to use them. But yeah, so I have maple syrup here, and for every 2 tablespoons, which this is 1 tablespoon, there is 27 grams of carbs. So this is nice because it's dense, right? It doesn't take up a lot of volume, and you can get a lot of carbs from it. And I haven't used like a carb powder in a while, simply because I don't want to pay for it. So there's that. And honestly, it's not. There's not no difference. There is not any difference, but I don't know, carbs are carbs at the end of the day. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing is like what I'm training with is probably what I should do on race day. So there is that. But yeah. So I'm gonna do this. If I can get it open. My little weak ass. Dang. Just ripping the thing off. There we go. Tastes like syrup. And I learned the maple syrup thing from Lionel Sanders. That's where I got this idea from. So yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily uncommon. But I mean, in today's day and age with all these supplements, you probably won't really see it as much, but shout out to Lionel Sanders. 1, 2. So theoretically then there's about 90 grams of carbs in this bottle now. I might do 2. 2. Thinking do a half. Let's do one more. 2. All right. So about 105 grams of carbs in each of these bottles, which I would almost be curious to try to do that in 1 hour. I heard something yesterday too where like if you're not training in super hot weather, your body's not having to use as much blood and stuff to cool you off, which means your absorption rate is higher. because your body can kind of use blood in other areas, like with digesting and stuff, which I don't particularly know, like, with it, your absorption rate is higher. So where that absorption happens more in terms of with your blood flow, I don't particularly know, to be honest. Because obviously I don't think blood's going in your stomach. But, I don't know. I guess maybe just help with flushing it or moving it around your body. It's more efficient because it's not, I don't know. But, yeah, so 105 grams of carbs. And honestly, that's probably at the lower end. Because, again, these bottles are for an hour and a half. So, yeah, we'll see. There is an ant in my bottle. Mother freaker. Gross. There is an ant in the bottle. It's in the bottle. Buddy. Mother freaker. Alright, well, we got that guy out of there. So, right now, I'm drinking coffee, and then the plan is to be on the bike before 6. I have my computer set up, so I'm going to watch a movie. There's this thing called Plex, and the F1 movies on there, so I guess I'll watch that. And then, it is actually a race weekend, so as long as I can get it up on my computer, because my computer's really gosh darn slow, I'm going to try to get the race up whenever the hell that starts, which probably isn't until, like, later. So honestly, I could potentially be almost done with the ride by the time that race starts, so maybe not, now that I'm thinking about it. But, yeah, so I'm drinking this coffee. Hopefully I'll take a dookie. I'm actually going to put, so these are filled up to, I can just pick up the camera, to right about there. See that? I'm just going to put water. Actually, I have this gallon, so I can do this. I'm going to fill the rest of the way up with water, just to kind of dilute it a little bit, and maybe help, I don't know, just help out a little bit maybe. The main goal right now, don't spill it. Don't spill the gosh darn bottles! Because that's something that I would do. Yeah. So. There's one. One of these bottles, whenever I do these long rides, these bottles always fall out. I have the cup holders like behind my seat. Or bottle cages. The bottle cages. Whatever. Behind my seat, and over time, like, usually at least twice there will be a bottle that falls out as I'm riding, and I gotta turn around and go freaking grab it. So one of these bottles is like, there's this black seal here, or whatever, where the threads are. It leaks. So I have to be careful of shaking it, because I don't want to get this shit everywhere. You know, make a mess. But yeah, also I talked about the 1,500 milligrams of sodium salt in there. It's just straight up salt. So yeah. Also, so I have these creatine gummies. It's this creatine monohydrate gummies. They sent these to me. I got these for free. I didn't want to say anything on Instagram yet, but I have a code with them, and then I want to try to talk to them, see if I can like do something where I can get paid monthly, because that would be fucking awesome. It'd be so cool. But I need to email them. I'll try to do that today, actually. But I didn't want to put anything on Instagram because I wanted to try these out before I actually like said like, oh, you should buy these, you should try these. This week I actually have felt significantly better. And the other day, like the past couple days, I was going about my days and I'm like, I feel better. And And the only thing that's changed is this. Like, sleep's still been iffy. They're just kind of all over the place. But I was like, I feel better. And I think it's because of these. I'm serious. Now, so it's been about a week. I'm like, these are legit. They are NSF Sport certified, so that means like you can use them in competitions and federations and stuff because they've been tested. Where does it say it? It probably says it on the bottle. Yeah, NSF certified sport. I mean, I don't know if that's up to Olympic level. I feel like it is. Like, I think NSF is pretty legit. So they're legit. The only thing, my biggest complaint, is their sugar. They use sugar, but then there'd be like reverse osmosis water. I'm like, why did you use sugar? Couldn't you use something else? Other than that, I'm a big fan. I just don't like the sugar in the ingredients, but again, part of the thing was like me trying these out. I was like, well, just see. But I'm a fan. So you can use code LEE, L-E-E. And you can get you some of these bad boys. And it tastes pretty good. Obviously they don't taste like a gummy bear, but in terms of like a creatine gummy, they're pretty good. They can be a little bit sandy, slightly. I assume that's just the creatine. But I don't think you're eating these with the intent to be like, a snack. Just take them in the morning and they're good. Have the intention of, these are creatine gummies, so they're probably not the best thing in the world, but again, they're good. They are good. Like, I don't not like them. But yeah, builds lean muscle. I don't know, everyone knows creatine. Does it build lean muscle? Who knows? Does it increase energy? Who knows? Does it improve recovery? Who knows? Does it boost cognition? Who knows? That to say, the three I just mentioned, energy, recovery, and cognition, I do believe. About the lean muscle thing, I don't know. I'm always skeptical of stuff that's like, oh, you're going to build more muscle because of it. It'll make you hold a little bit more water, so there's that. But, yeah, I'm a fucking fan. So, that's cool. I will open the camera probably when I'm on the bike, because, yeah. Okay. This isn't gonna work. Alright, yeah, that's gonna have to be good enough there. So we are 3 hours and 20 minutes into this ride. Ooh, about an hour and a half left to go. Hour and 40 minutes left to go. I don't really remember what I said, but 5-hour bike ride, 8-mile run. It's raining outside right now, so maybe not the worst thing that I'm doing this indoor. I don't know. I would ride in the rain freaking anyways. Yeah, just got the Formula 1 race on. This Wahoo kicker fucking sucks. I don't know, I must be doing something wrong, but it just gets frozen out of fucking power. Doesn't matter how hard you pedal, how fast, how slow, try to move shit around, just gets stuck out of power. So I keep having to restart the fucking thing, which is really annoying. So I got the overall time just on my watch, and I don't know how many times I've had to restart it, but it's really stupid. So, Wahoo kicker, either I'm a fucking idiot or you guys suck. So who knows? But yeah, that's honestly the main reason I didn't want to do an indoor ride today. With the shorter ones, I guess it's whatever, but I don't want to have to keep restarting it. It's really obnoxious. As you can tell, I'm pretty fucking annoyed. Yeah. We're just gonna get it done. I don't know, whenever I'm doing it, like doing this, and I'm sitting here trying to explain something to the camera, I get frustrated. It's a little bit annoying. Because I'm like, I just gotta do it. I don't know, just keep pedaling. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, Had to turn the Wahoo kicker on and off 3 times during the 5-hour ride. Totaled 104 miles, averaged all the powers, 221 average power throughout that whole thing. Average heart rate was like 117, so honestly wasn't really pushing at all. Let's go run 8 miles. I'll see you when I'm done. Just watch this. Just watch this. Pulled this right out of the freezer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cold water. Just ice cold water. Icy cold fucking water. That's all you need. A nice cold pint of water. A nice cold pint. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't my first sip though. I walked in the door and then I took a couple sips and I was like, let me get this on camera. Because this is what it's all about right here. Earning this cold glass of water. God dang, that is good. That is good. 104 miles on the bike, 5 hours, 8-mile run, average pace 6:56, power on the bike 221. So I had to pause the trainer 3 times. I might have already said that. And then all I did was just add up the miles, which I actually, so the first time I was about an hour into the bike, I got off to go pee really quick. I don't think I ever hit play or like start again on my phone. I did on my watch and I think I just forgot. Because then I realized, like I went to go change the power and then it said I was at like 2,000 miles. I was like, oh, okay. So I don't think that I ever paused it or replayed it or it just tweaked out. That's why like I don't fully trust like the indoor power numbers, at least on this Wahoo kicker thing, because I don't know. I think I was kind of tweaking in the clip, but I don't really trust it, and it's honestly kind of a piece of shit for how popular the Wahoo brand is. Maybe it's just this specific one. I don't know, but I'm not very happy with it, unless I'm doing something wrong, which could be fully the case. I don't really know what I'd be doing wrong though, but. Yeah, nonetheless, I'm just looking at it more as like I was on that bike for 5 hours and yeah, whew, balls. Then we ran 8 miles. So yeah, the 8-mile run felt good. It was raining the whole time, which was, I don't mind. Kind of blows when your shoes get all wet because it's like a little bit heavier, but it's not that big of a deal. And then, yeah. I think just not being in the heat really helps me out because usually going into these runs, they've been pretty ass. So, or like on these big brick workouts, these runs are pretty rough. So that 8 miles was pretty chill. Like I was saying, I averaged 6:56. I started pushing at the end. Like the first 3 or 4 miles were like a 7:15. And I was like, oh, I don't feel terrible. Like I feel pretty fine. Tired, you're like tired, but I was like, I can push. And then I pretty much, honestly, 6:30s, my last mile was at 6:27. Excuse me. I feel like I didn't really have much else in me to like push. My heart rate was higher, but like, whew. It just didn't feel like I could push any faster, really. I feel like my legs are pretty dead. Which makes sense, 17 miles yesterday and then coming right off of the bike. So yeah, that's cool. And then doing the indoor rides, like it's not ideal. With those bigger rides, I'd rather do them outside just because, like I mentioned, you get all the elements and the changing conditions and stuff like that. But in this case, it wasn't that bad. And then in terms of like time and efficiency, it's much better because now I finished that and I'm already home, as opposed to finishing and then I have to like drive 40 minutes to get back here and all that stuff, and then you got to drive out there. It's a lot more prep. I got to bring all this stuff and then walking everything up the stairs because I'm on the 2nd floor, so then it's like that's a whole thing when you're tired and stuff. So it's way more efficient to just do it here. And like I mentioned, I was gonna go out and do it outside, but then last night I was ahead of a game, and then I went to go see a buddy because I'm like, I always guilt myself into being like, oh, you need to do these things because that's what everyone else does, or it's what other people tell you you need to do. So that was kind of one of those situations, and not a bad thing, like, good guy, but and then just kind of throws everything off. So then by the time I got back, it's like 11, and no, not true, a little after 9, and then, but I still have to eat, except, yeah, all the stuff, and then by the time I am getting in bed, it was like 11, so I was like, this is annoying, so I just was like, I'm just gonna stay here. So that's exactly what I did. But yeah, it's Sunday, so I'm gonna shower, eat, do some editing, try to edit this YouTube video, but even when I edit it and like get the clip, I need to export it from the CapCuts or whatever. That's a whole process. So even if I do that today and export it within the hour, it will probably take the rest of the day to export, to the point where uploading it on YouTube would be like stupid, because it would upload like in the middle of the night. Not that my YouTube videos get a lot of views anyways, they get like 20 to 30 views, but yeah, I don't know. So hopefully I can get it up by tomorrow, but yeah. That's all I got. It's pretty much all I got. I really need to clean that bike. It's pretty filthy. I haven't washed it in weeks. Biggest thing is just keeping up with just like oiling the chain, and then yeah, on that old bitch. But yeah, yep, yep, that's the word, that's the thing. Maybe I'll pull out the camera later, we'll see, but if not, bye.